Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
We're live once again to the casket drop, or to Christ come back and scorch the hell out of America. We are going to be live here at ISBH
Incorporated.
We're not actually incorporated. No, but we're live. We're going to give y'all a second to go ahead and log in. Go ahead and get the text out, y'all. Get your text out. And I was just talking to them about questions and deeper questions. But we're going to give y'all the reminders, because certain brothers and sisters look on certain days and don't look on. So you're going to hear me repeat about the Feast of Memorial blowing of the trumpets, which is on the 12th. That's coming up this Saturday, right? So, brothers and sisters, prepare for that feast. Okay? If you want to join us, come join us here. Hit us up. I do have, what is that text number? Do y'all know that text number? The text number, the one I was using? We do have a number that you can text me on during class. Let me see. Huh? Let me see if this goes through. Let me see real quick. I don't know, because for some reason. Okay, tell me if you just got that. If all fails, y'all can go on YouTube Live, and go ahead and hit us in the comments. And we have somebody there trolling the comments. So if y'all have any questions, y'all can go in the comments, okay? So that's the announcements. The announcements is that we have the High Holy Day coming up on the 12th, the memorial blowing of the trumpets. If you want to congregate, join in the Holy Convocation, you can come join us, okay? And then after, on the 22nd is the Day of Atonement. Yes, sis.
I have two numbers down here that you guys have given out in class before for text message.
No, those are, I'm trying to use this text number. I don't know what's going on with it now. It seems, no?
It's not going to work because you created it with your previous number. You gotta do it again.
Oh, right.
You need the app and stuff.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, I'll create one anyway. All right, so did y'all get that text out?
Yes.
Okay, so if y'all have any questions or comments, y'all can hit us up. I want to thank y'all, brothers and sisters, for tuning in to us, checking us out, supporting, positive. There's a lot of positive. We thank the Most High for that. So we're going to go into tonight's class. I'm trying to give y'all a second for brothers and sisters that do log in. Give y'all a second to go ahead and ask your questions. Okay? All right. So does nobody has any questions in here? How about you, Jessica?
Yeah, I did, but I lost the verse I was trying to pull up.
Okay.
It was regarding I heard this a long time ago, and then for some reason I just looked it up. It was about when they said about being left behind.
Left behind.
It's an Exodus. Let me see. Let me get this first one.
Okay. Well, while you're looking for that, brothers and sisters online, y'all can hit us up now if y'all have any questions. We try to give y'all time to hit us up before we start going in our class. There has been a lot of y'all out there that do have good questions, and we like the questions. We like the questions because a lot of them are basic, and there's a lot of people that want to know about these basic questions. Okay? Anybody hit us up on there yet? No. I know it's going to happen in the middle of class, but yeah, what's your question?
So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 24.
Yeah.
It was probably read up a little bit, but 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 24. Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead.
Yeah, we're 2nd Ezra where?
Chapter 13, verse 24.
2nd Ezra 13.
Yeah, because I had a brother that tried to pull it out. But he pulled the verse about them sowing in the, it wasn't in Matthew, it was in a apocryphal verse, but them about, that they was in the field, and it was better to be left behind than to be taken. So,
Like, pertaining to what, though?
I don't know if it was Yahushua coming back, or, you know.
That could be smart. So it's better be left behind than go with Christ? That's where he put it.
He didn't really say it specifically like that, but he tried to pull it out like that, and
yeah.
and that's why I was reading this right here. Yeah, so
You know, what we tell y'all, man, these cats don't be in class. That just to even insinuate that is not even smart.
Because I think what he was talking about was the chariots, maybe in general, about, like I said, he wasn't so blunt about it,
right?
Out open, but I think that's what he was trying to relay.
2nd Ezra 13.
Correct. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 24. Now this isn't the verse that he pulled, but I was looking it up, and this is what I came across.
You're at verse 24.
Okay.
Let's see here. You're at verse 13. You're at verse 24. Let's read from verse. Let's read from verse 1. We'll give people a time. We'll give people a second to ask a question. All right. So before he starts his class. So let's start from verse 1. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night.
Right.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Right.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
Right. Now we know this is talking about Christ. Okay. Remember, it says that. It says. Hello. It says that out of his mouth, it's like a two-edged sword, right? But there's another one though, man. It tells you. Wow. It tells you about that he's going to. I don't want to quote it wrong. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. What's up with this thing? Take testing. Go ahead.
Verse 5.
What verse you just read? Verse 4?
Verse 4.
Okay, go ahead.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
Right.
Like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven.
Right.
To subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right. So this is the nations coming up against Christ. All nations are going to come together. When they see Christ return, they're going to come together and try to fight against Christ. It's that alien thing. You know the Alien movie the movies they're putting out, they're programming to get everybody to fight the aliens. So that's what this is. That's what's going on here. Okay, this is this vision, but this is the vision of the return. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain,
All right.
and flew up upon it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven,
Right.
and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Right. So they were afraid. They were afraid of him, but yet they still fought. Because that's how stupid these nations are going to be. They're going to see Christ come back with all this power and the angels, but the Most High is going to put that pride in them. He's going to put that pride in them, like Pharaoh, to where they don't turn. They're going to still try to fight against Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 9.
And if y'all tuned in, we're just answering a question in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor his sword,
Right.
nor any instrument of war.
Mm-hmm.
But only I saw that he sent out his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
Right. Now, that's twofold. That's physically and it's spiritually. Because it says out of his mouth. What is that? Testing. We need to testing. This is physically and spiritually, because out of his mouth is gonna come the word. Yeah, you know what? It would be good that I don't go over the precepts with this whole chapter right now, because then we can go over all the precepts that link up with it some other time, since it's just the basics. But yeah, there's a lot of precepts that link up with this. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath.
Right.
And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest.
Right. See, so this is a combination of what the Most High is going to do according to Revelations 18.
Ezekiel? Zechariah.
I think so. Well, which one are you talking about? With the angels coming?
No, maybe I skipped about how they came all together. He's going to melt them.
Right, he's going to melt them. Exactly. That's one. But I'm talking about, Zechariah, where they were going to come. All the angels was going to come back with him. And it says, they shall be a spark, and Esau shall be for stubble. Right? So like I said, there's a lot of, yeah, that's Obadiah also. That's Obadiah also. I don't know. Testing. I know, but it's doing that. It's acting funny. Turn it off. Turn it on.
With this too?
Yeah. Huh?
This is blinking, I don't know what this is, okay?
It's blinking off?
Oh, I mean, just off then.
Okay, go ahead and finish reading now.
And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, everyone.
So we're clear. It's acting funny. It's probably the batteries. We need some batteries. Could somebody go grab some right across the street? AAA. Huh? Testing. You hear me? Y'all hear me? Okay, go ahead, huh?
So that upon a sudden.
Right, what I was going to say is that obviously we're understanding this chapter is talking about the return of Christ. All nations are going to come up against him and be destroyed. Okay, go ahead.
So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived.
Go ahead.
But only dust and the smell of smoke.
Right. Because you got to think about it. They would have come up against the Son of God. Right? The one that created them. Go ahead.
When I saw this, I was afraid.
Right.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain
Right.
and call upon him another peaceable multitude.
Right. Go ahead.
And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were worried, some of them were bound, and others some brought to them that were offered.
Right. That's Israel. That's why when you go back to Revelations, the 7th chapter, okay, it says that, and lo, I behold another multitude which no man could number of all nations. We would have come out of all nations. That's why we're really strict on telling brothers and sisters that we can't judge by your nose, your hair, your skin color. Because you have Israelites scattered in all nations. And this is what this point is making. Go ahead.
Then was I sick through great fear.
Right.
And I awakened and said, Thou hast shewed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer.
Right. So y'all see that? Y'all see what's going on here? What's going on? He's just giving a vision, right? But who else was been given this vision?
All the prophets.
Yeah. I mean, to this level.
Right. Because he said it from the beginning.
Yeah, check this out, man. This is the Old Testament. This is Ezra. Christ is written in the Old Testament. You understand? This is for those people that say, "Oh, it don't talk about the Son of God in the Old Testament." This is Ezra. This is Ezra. Did you know that?
Well, oh yes, I did.
Yeah, you're right. What's up?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, it was just something.
Go ahead, read on.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Shew me now yet the interpretation of this dream.
Right.
For as I conceive in my understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days.
Right.
And much more woe unto them that are not left behind.
Right. Woe unto them that shall be left. Right? Woe unto them that should be left where?
Of that day whenever most
right. Right, because will Christ come back? What day is that? A day of judgment but salvation. Right? So it's a twofold. It's a day of judgment and a day of salvation. So what verse you in?
Verse 16.
Right, you have verse...
Actually, verse 17.
You have verse 17. Is that what you read?
I just finished with 16.
For as I considered in my mind, as for those who will be left in those days, and still more as for those who are not left. Right? So those who are left is the people that's going to be destroyed through that thermal fire. Right? But you also have the brothers and sisters that are going to be took. Right, from the dust, taken out of the destruction, taken out of the death. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand, the things
for those who are not left will be sad. Why? Why?
Because destruction's coming to them.
No. What? No. These are the ones that are took.
You said is that left?
Yeah, that's what it said, right?
For they that were not left were in heaviness.
Right. Why would they be in sadness?
The brothers and sisters out there getting burnt up.
They've seen all this destruction, huh? Remember it says they shall fly like doves. It's in Isaiah. It said they shall fly like doves through their windows. We're going to be seeing the destruction of America, of all your brothers, sisters that did not return to the Most High. Your family members and friends, right? Huh? Yeah, Isaiah 60 and 8, right? Who are these that fly as doves through their windows? The ones that are lifted up from America, we're going to be taken out of this place, but we're going to be looking at the destruction of all those loved ones. Right? Like I said, there's so many precepts. We're not doing that right now, so we can go over this class. But everybody's going to be looking. That's why it says 2 from a city, 1 from a field. Your family members are going to be put to death. Right? Your loved ones that turn from the Most High is going to be put to death. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Right?
Now understand, the things that are laid up in the latter days.
Right?
Which shall happen unto them,
Mm-hmm.
and to those that are left behind.
Right?
Therefore are they come into great perils and many necessities.
Right?
Like as these dreams declare.
Right. See, this is where they get it mixed up. They think left behind, like there's going to be, Christ is going to come back. We're all going to get beamed up. I seen a movie on it. We're all going to get beamed up, but people are going to be left on the earth. Yeah, the 7 years of tribulation, right? They don't understand. This is talking about now. See, Christ, when he comes, Revelation tells us he's going to destroy America. America's going to be destroyed. Ain't nobody going to be left behind. You know what I mean? So what Ezra is doing is jumping and showing about the time period we're in now. Distress. What else to say? But as for those who are left, and for that very reason, for they shall see a great dangers and much distress. Go ahead. I'm reading it out of Anatolian Bible. Yeah, that's why it's worded different. Yeah, read 19 again.
Therefore, are they coming to great perils and many necessities?
Right.
Like as these dreams declare?
Right.
Verse 20. Yet is it easier for him that is in danger to come into these things?
Right.
Than to pass away as a cloud out of the world?
You see that? He says earthquakes, famines, pestilence. Right? Christ said earthquakes, famines, pestilence, but that's not the end. That's the beginning of the end. This is what he's talking about at this point. He's talking about the beginning of the end. He's jumping. That's all he's doing here. First of all, he already talked about Christ's return, but then he's jumping back. Those that will be left during these perilous times, right? Go ahead.
And not to see the things that happen in the last days.
Right. In the what?
In the last days.
It tells you. It's telling you right there. See, how many of us is going to be here in these last times, man? That really you'd rather be with the Most High. The things that's going to be falling, it's going to be rough. It's the beginning is already started, right? You look at what the Most High, how these spirits are attacking households, families, brothers and sisters throughout the world. How many of brothers and sisters are getting the knowledge and leaving? I sit back and I look, and I keep saying it. I say it all the time. The Most High is giving all these people no excuse. All the word that's getting out there, yes, you have, different discrepancies here and here where brothers, in certain points in the knowledge. But the word is out there. There's not going to be one cat that can say, I didn't know what I had to do. I didn't know I was supposed to take my talent and use it for the knowledge of the Most High. Nobody's going to have an excuse. You see that? That's why it's going to be worse for them. It's going to be worse for them. Go ahead.
And he said unto me and said, their interpretation of the vision shall I shew thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required.
Right.
Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind.
Mm-hmm.
This is the interpretation. Verse 23.
Right.
He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself.
Right. So now it's giving you the understanding. What time? The time that leads up to Christ coming back.
The rumors of wars.
The rumors of wars, pestilence, famine, earthquakes, right? How many of us can survive during these times? Like I said, there's so many scriptures the scripture says the land shall be barren of faith, right? So during this time of barren of faith, 2 Timothy comes back and tells us men should become lovers of themselves, incontinent, boasters, proud. That's during these times, who's going to last? Who's the ones that's going to stand and be faithful?
That's why I say do it like a good soldier.
Bro, there you go. Yeah, that's what I said. There's so many precepts. I don't want to touch on it, but you have to give the understanding. But we better be prepared for what's going on. A lot of people ain't prepared. A lot of brothers and sisters come in, think this is a joke, get on Facebook and mock the Most High. You know what I mean? I'm doing me. Most High's gonna do you, all right. He's gonna do you, because woe be he that putteth his hand to the plow and look back. You got people that come into truth, come into knowledge, and trotting over the grace. You better understand those parables. Why Christ gave the parable of the servants with the talents? If it was just about us getting the knowledge and sitting on our ass and oh, I don't need a camp. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do me. If it was about that, then why did he give the parables of the talents? Or the stewards? Or the servants? Or use the word ministry anyway? Why do we have to minister? What are we ministering to? The air? Come on, man. That psychological BS that you try to play on your head, try to make yourself feel right within your own mind while you're not doing the work of the Most High. That's a game between you and the Most High. You understand? We have to keep doing the work, because how are we going to make it through these last times? How are we going to stand in faith? By practicing it. All them that didn't practice faith, they ain't going to be faithful in that time. So it's just like a person that, look at 2 or 3 classes of karate. You know what I mean? 2 or 3 videos of karate. And you go try to go out there and beat somebody up. You're not going to know karate. You have to really dedicate yourself. That's it with anything, right? With the wise, with the fools, they think I can sit back and I can play with the Most High, man. You see that? Right. So, this is scary, man. Go ahead.
They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward the Almighty.
Right.
Verse 24. Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead.
Right.
This is the meaning of the vision.
Right.
Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea.
Right. So, I mean, you read the chapter, right? All right. We'll go over the breakdown of this after. Did that answer your question, though? Like, did we get to that yet?
Well, it did. Like I said, it just brought back the thought of whenever
right, because it's not meaning that, it's good for you to be left behind. It's not meaning that. It's meaning that the trials and everything that you're going to go through during that time. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah, because when you read 20, it's telling you.
Yeah, it tells you when you go.
It's easy for you to die than to go through it.
There you go.
That's why he said it's better for you to be left.
That's why I said it'd be better. It'd be better to be dead.
Right. Yeah. But he's saying he don't want you to go through the easy. He wants you to go through those trials and endure.
You have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what we're going to go through. Watch, read that verse you just read again.
Verse 20.
What verse you just read?
24?
You just read 24, read that again.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 24. Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead.
Right. I think it was the verse before that. I'm sorry, because it's worded different here. Go ahead.
Verse 23?
Yeah, 23.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 23.
Right.
He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself.
Yeah, what?
Kept himself.
See? Us that endure the trials and tribulation and persecution, we were kept when we went through it for Christ.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of salvation. You were around practicing it. You were around practicing love, brotherhood, compassion, faith, righteousness. You were doing that. Congregating, whatever congregation you would, You better be somewhere doing something, right? Then sitting on your ass at home hugged up with your boo, because that's not going to save you. The Most High wants you to put in works, right? So I mean, like I said, we could go over that. That's the whole breakdown on that. But I just wanted to answer that question. So it didn't mean that, oh yeah, it's cool if you're left behind. What's up?
No, I'm going to say like you quoted earlier. That's why he said, "Thou wicked and slothful servant." You got to think about why was he wicked? Why was the man that just sat at home with his boo and his family and his kids? Why was he wicked? He was a family man. He had a job. But why was he wicked? He was wicked, like he said, because he didn't go out and use his talent. He thought he could just hear the word. It's ironic because just on a smaller note, me and this brother was handing out flyers. We gave this Jude out a flyer, and he looked to the side and saw a bunch of people looking at him with the flyer, so he threw it on the ground. But as we crossed the street, a woman pulled up and asked for him. Right. See, they know, but it's the choices. This is that rehearsal right now, where if you don't have the script down, when the Most High yell action, what you gonna do? When everybody's going in, the scene is moving a certain way, and you're just standing there because you didn't take time to study. You didn't take time to try to apply the scripture.
Yeah. I mean, did that answer that question? Like I said, what I'll do, because that chapter, we can go into many scriptures on that. We'll go back over it, and I'll go over all the precepts with it. Yeah, because that's actually a good chapter. We got another question. There is a part in the book of Romans that said that the laws are done away with. Can you break it down for me? Yeah, we went over this the other day. But sure, what chapter and what verse, real quick? Tell us what chapter and what verse. Who we got here? Patrick, go to, just real quick now, we went over this the other day. It's kind of redundant, for brothers and sisters, but I'm sure you're probably new. You're probably new to watching us. But we went over this topic the other day. Now, go to, let's start back, verse Matthew 5:17, real quick, and then we'll jump into his class.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right, while you get your scripture and tell us whereabouts specifically where you're talking about, we have to understand, once again, that Christ himself said he didn't come to destroy the law of the prophets. Why? Because the prophets established things in the spirit and was carried on as tradition and righteousness. So I didn't come to destroy the Old Testament or the prophets. Go ahead.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right, and the mistake that the Christians have thought is that at this point when he says he's fulfilling, they meant, oh, he died, he resurrected, it's done away with. Okay? The only thing that's done away with is the death of the law. Use common sense. The morality of the law can't be done away with. For you to say, oh yeah, the law is done away with, then you can go ahead and commit adultery? No. Right? You can't. You can go be a murderer, a killer, a child molester? No. So common sense tells you the law ain't done away with. So now it's just you coming to understand what Christ said here. I came not to do away with the law or the prophets. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Right.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass,
right,
one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Right. So he's pointing out that a jot nor a tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Till heaven and earth pass. He gave you straight to the point. If you thought there was going to be a time period that the law would be done away with, he said when heaven and earth pass. So now we know there's a heaven and there's an earth. So the law is still here. So I have to look at that. I have to look at what Christ just said and understand that Paul himself was a follower of Christ. Okay? So now when I go to Romans, I'm understanding that I'm reading what Paul's saying wrong. If I'm thinking he's saying the law is done away with, I'm reading it wrong because it's confusion. It would be confusion because Christ is saying it's not. Okay? So I'm waiting for the verse. He hasn't sent me the verse. What verse were you specifically talking about in Romans, Patrick? Go ahead and send us the verse you're talking about so we can go over it. But I'm reminding you about Matthew 5:17. And then let's go right back to Matthew 3:31. Excuse me. Go to Matthew 3:31 just to refresh. I know we went over this.
Matthew chapter 3?
Romans 3 verse 31. Just for Patrick.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Do we then make void the law through faith?
Yes.
God forbid.
No, we don't. It's straight to the point, straight cut to the point. Now, we read the chapters to show in context what he was talking about. From the 3rd chapter, right? From the 1st verse, you would actually think he started saying, oh yeah, the laws are done away with, all you need faith is in grace. The last verse, he makes a point to show you that's not what he's saying. Grace is given, faith is given, and we have to have that mingled with the law. Okay? I'm waiting for the part in Romans you were talking about. Maybe he logged off already. But if you did it, well, you can go to Matthew 5:17, Romans 3 verse 31, Romans 6 verse 15. Read that one for him real quick.
Romans 6
verse 15.
Verse 15.
Right.
When then?
What then?
What then? Shall we sin? Because we are not under the law?
Right. Because we're not under the letter of the law. We're not under the death of the law. Christ came and gave grace for that. When you sin, nobody comes out and stones you or kills you or chops off your arm. You're forgiven. You have mercy. Go ahead.
But under grace.
Right.
God forbid.
It says God forbid. And we know sin is a transgression of the law. Where? Where are you at? You got another one?
I'm at Romans 6 and 1.
Okay, Romans 6 and 1. Read that.
Romans chapter 6 verse 1.
Right.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?
Right.
God forbid.
Right.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
Right. So let's get it right. Sin is the transgression of the law. We're not supposed to continue in sin. So the law abounds, but it doesn't abound to death. Not the letter. It says the letter killeth. The letter killeth. Why? Because thou shalt not, and you do against the law, that law, you're dead. You were supposed to be put to death. That was done away with. But the righteousness of the law would never be done away with. When you go to Romans 7 chapter, it explains all that. He's not hitting us back though. He might have logged off already. Right, yeah, 1 John 3 and 4. Might as well.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 4.
Right.
Whosoever committed sin transgressed also the law.
See, that's what he's telling you right there. That the law is being broken by sinning. So you just because you may think the church tell you, listen, Jesus died. Jesus didn't die so you can sin, because sin is transgression of the law. So the law, to break the law is to sin. So when you sin, you break the law.
Right. That's right. So I mean that's simple and plain.
I was going to say.
You got another one?
No,
What you gonna say?
To break something, it got to be there for you to break.
Right.
You got to be around,
Exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. He's not responding. So let's go ahead and go into this class tonight. We gave brothers and sisters a little time on that. So hopefully that answered this question. All right. So Priest Lakaman is going to go into his class.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
You can label this class Beauty and Virtue of a Woman. And the reason I chose this class is because if you're paying attention, they're making it seem like our women aren't beautiful. That what we fight for with these sisters and these young women are fighting for have no value. Right? But it's important to know that all throughout the scriptures, the Bible talks about value of women. They're valuable. You know, the virtue is what makes you valuable.
Right.
There's a difference between a harlot and a virtuous woman. And the point of today is to point out the attributes and behavior of a virtuous woman because it's important and it's needed.
Right, because like you said, I like how you said it, you're valuable. You know, all the sisters are needed. We're a nation. We're not just going to be a nation going into the kingdom, right? Just with all hairy-ass men. That's not going to happen. We're not going to go into the nation just a bunch of men. You understand? Our nation is going to be mixed with 144,000 men and their wives, beautiful women that have supported, backed their husband, right? There's going to be righteous women that back, that follow to the end. You got to think about it. All the women ain't going to be put to death. Then how will we procreate, right? So we have to remember that. Like you said, you have to see the value in a righteous woman.
Right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, it's funny because you see the nations, they took everything from us. But it's still beautiful to see them covered up in their dresses, in their head wraps. You know what I mean? That's why they do it. Because they know it's beautiful. But see, we've been broke down so much that we look for so much attention. Especially women, they look for attention. And they're looking for it the wrong way. Because the Most High, through these scriptures, is going to really show you what virtue and beauty is. And it's important to know that you are a part of a team. This is a team effort. That's why the Most High, real quick, give me Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18.
Because he hasn't started his class as of yet, could we answer this one last question for them? Okay. Just one question. We want to show them that we here. We're not robots. Okay, go to, there's a lot of questions. I didn't see those questions.
This is the text.
What is this?
This is the text, the ISB text.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Just sent us.
Oh, he just sent it. Okay. All right, we're going to answer Urad. Urad, yes, you're probably trying to say Yasharala, Yasharala. Yeah, Urad, Yasharala. Let's go, just on the baptism. Now, Urad, we have a show pointing out the baptism. But I'm going to just show you one scripture that is going to put the nail in the coffin on baptism. Do you have to get baptized to be saved? No. Could you get baptized? Knock yourself out. But the water baptism is not going to save you. And I'm going to take you to one of the most important scriptures on this topic, okay? And like I said, we went over the topic. Please check us out. Go to YouTube. I'll actually have her put it in the link on baptism, okay? So we start 1 Peter 3, verse 18. Read that.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 18.
Right.
For Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the just for the unjust,
Right.
that he might bring us to God,
Right. Go ahead.
being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit.
Okay, read on.
Verse 19. By which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison.
Right. So that's what happened. Christ died for us. Us being unjust and him just sacrificing himself. Go ahead.
Verse 20.
So it said he went and preached to the spirits that were in these prisons. The spiritual prison. We're going to find out it is spiritual. It's going to tell us. Go ahead.
Which sometimes were disobedient.
Well, sometime when we're disobedient. It's going to tell us. Read.
When once the long sufferings of God.
It says, it's telling us when the long suffering of the Most High during when? Read on.
Waited in the days of Noah.
So those spirits were really spirits. It wasn't a jail place that Christ went to and went about the city. He went literally to the spirits that were in the time of Noah. Go ahead.
While the ark was a preparing,
Go ahead.
wherein few, that is, 8 souls, were saved by water.
Right, so 8 souls were saved by water. 8 souls were saved by water. Now, he's giving us the example of water. 8 souls were saved by water. Let's see what Peter says here. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
The like figure.
Go ahead.
The like figure.
It's a what?
Like figure.
It's a figure, an example. If you wanted to really understand about the water baptism, this was the figure. Now, Peter's telling these people this because they thought back then that baptism would save them, right? Because that was the baptism of John, right? Go ahead.
The like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us.
See, it says the like figure where baptism saves us. But we're going to find out. Read on.
Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh.
Not what?
Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh.
Y'all hear? Y'all understand that? Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh. So what does that do right there? That cuts out water baptism. That wasn't going to heal you, cleanse you. That wasn't going to save you. It says, not of the putting away of the filth of the flesh. I didn't say it. He said it. Because, you got these Christian group called GOCC. Yeah, they baptize because they're more like a Christian religion. You understand? We don't baptize because we always understood this. Hebrew Israelites don't. Okay? Go ahead.
But the answer of a good conscience.
But the what?
But the answer of a good conscience.
But the answer of a good conscience. Could water cleanse your conscience? No. It can't cleanse your conscience. Why was it pivotal that he pointed this out to them? They thought back then baptism would save them. So he's like, okay, your tradition is fine, but let me let you know something. The whole point of the earth being washed and cleansed during the times of Noah was an example of what the Spirit was supposed to be doing to us. Not the putting away the filth of the flesh, because you take a bath, you can be dunked 1,000,000 times. You can dunk a child molester into water, and if his conscience ain't clean, he's going to come out a wet child molester. That's it. Same thing with a homosexual. You can dunk a homosexual in the water, but if the word hasn't eradicated his thought process and his conscience, he'll be a wet homosexual, right? Go ahead.
But the answer of a good conscience towards God.
Right.
By the resurrection of Yahushua.
Right. So, if one scripture can sum it all up, this is it. But on this topic, brother, we're not going to go over this topic tonight. Go online. She's going to send the link. We go over multiple scriptures on why baptism is not going to save us. Okay? The water baptism. The Spirit being baptized with the washing of the water by the word will save you. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps you out there, bro. Okay. So we got one more. Oh, what was it?
137, 3 and 4.
First Peter's
No,
Psalms 137, 3 and 4. Go there real quick. And then this is going to be the last question. I'm going to let him go in his class.
Psalms chapter 137 and verse 3.
But brothers and sisters, we got no problem with answering your questions. Class starts at 7. So if y'all log in at 7, 7:05, 7:10, we answer those questions during that time. So we try to answer them before class, okay? So feel free to ask your questions during that time also. Go ahead.
Psalms 137 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For there they carried us away captive, required of us a song.
Right.
And they that wasted us required of us merit.
Right.
Saying,
So the nations that took us into captivity required of us a song, right? that song was not only spiritual, but actually the songs we used to sing, right? The song was trials, tribulation, and slavery, right? But we used to sing it. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home, right? All the old Negro spirituals, right? Those were the songs, right? Go ahead.
Sing us one of the songs of Zion.
Yeah, yeah. Boy, you better dance out there. Give me one of those songs. Oh, yeah, that's a good song, boy. Oh. Now, do I know a lot of old Negro spirituals? No. But this is what it meant by them. They required of us a song. You know what I mean? You know, you see it in the movies, in the slavery movies. Oh, you gonna sing me a song, boy? Go on and dance for me. And that's what they require from us, a song, right? And they still doing it when they look at us dancing, being coons. That's what the word they call it, right? Cooning, right? That song is required from us. You're gonna dance. You're gonna be the jig, and this is going to remind us that you're our slaves. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
Yeah, but the point is that the true songs, right? The swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. How are we going to really sing this, right, in this defiled land? In this wicked land. The songs of majesty of the Most High. The songs of really serving the Most High and really resting on the Sabbath, right? How are we going to do these things? How are we really going to put our spirit into serving the Most High? We're not. We're not, because we're in captivity. We're in slavery, right? We sing it, or rather we cry it, right, to the Most High. The Most High hears, but the mockers, the point of what he was saying is they're doing it to mock us. Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning.
Right. So hopefully that answered your question. Hopefully that answered your question on it. Yeah.
You remember what day we went over the feast?
The feast, we've been over that. We've been over that, like, check Monday's class. Okay. Check Monday's class, which is if listen, brothers and sisters, if you subscribe, let me show y'all. If y'all go to YouTube, type in ISBHPK, go to the homepage and press subscribe. Then when you go to subscribe, as you're subscribed, you go to home. You go to home, it goes through all of our videos that we posted in order, like from the last one, to the furthest, that we posted. As opposed to if you just type in ISBHPK, all of our videos are scattered throughout. But when you go through here, and when you go through home or when you go through videos, when you click on videos, then it goes through 1 day ago, 4 days ago, 6 days ago. It kind of gives you the recent ones we've done. And it'll make it a little easier for you to get those videos that you want. So Monday's class, and I think we went over it last week also. Yeah, we went over it on the Sabbath. We've been over that multiple times already. We'll put some links in there for you to try to get that. Okay. So all right, let's go into this class now about the beauty of a woman. What you got? You got some?
Oh no.
The beauty of a woman. Okay, the virtue of a woman. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Real quick, just to recap. The reason why we are going over this is to show sisters that they are somebody, because the world is beating us down, man. Us brothers, we connect and deal with each other on a daily basis, 24 hours a day. We always in each other's ear. We're always dealing with each other. A lot of sisters, they're out doing jobs. They have other things, other avenues that they're in, that sometimes they're left alone. And then they start looking at the people that so-called make fun of the way they carry themselves. Or what we look at the scriptures. We look at modest apparel. They look at it as strange. Oh, why you like that? Why you ain't got on those stretch pants? Why you ain't got this? Why you ain't got that? It's called humility. I got virtue. Virtue is something that's valuable. That's rare. And then us, when you look at the scriptures, the Most High made a counterpart. He made a counterpart. And real quick, give me Genesis 2:18, and then I want you to look up the word counterpart. Counterpart. Because what I have is, it says, one that is closely resembled to another. So our wives resemble us.
Right. Can I get one on that? Go to Ecclesiastes 25, verse 1, real quick. Just on the point he's making on our wives resembling us. Do you got that one?
No.
Okay. So Ecclesiastes 25, verse 1. These are the basic essentials of what beautifies us.
Yeah. Ecclesiastes.
And the men, we have to realize the woman ain't trash.
Right.
You understand? They're not garbage. They're not just footstools. You hear me say that a lot. You know, we have to come to mind to that, to understand the woman is needed as much as the man. You understand? I've said it before many times, many classes. The woman is mostly important because soon as the woman breaks down, oh, bruh, your household. Now the kids are going to suffer. You understand? Once they see that chaos and that division in the household, so, your kids are going to suffer, man. So, to understand how beautiful it is for the man, for the woman, to be in this unity and this mind is needed. But the point of his class is you have to see your value. You're valuable, but you're valuable in the spirit. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
The Most High said this is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Now, why? Why is it a beautiful thing? Because this is what the Most High established from the beginning. So we have to take pride in that. We have to take pride in the things that the Most High, Christ, is beautified in. You know, so you have to see the value of the woman. You know, once the woman goes off, oh brother, why do you think the white man did what he did? Why do you think he gave the woman food stamps and said, listen, I'm gonna give you this food stamps. I'm gonna put heroin in your community, crack in your community during the 70s, so the Black Panthers, the brown pride can be destroyed, right? I'm going to put the stamps in. I'm going to tell you, you can't have a man in this house. What's the first thing he had to break?
The family.
The family, the woman. That's the man's heart. That's his love, right? So they had to break that. Y'all see that? So read that one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 1.
Right?
In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and man.
Right, so this is beautiful to the Creator, to the Most High. Go ahead.
The unity of brethren.
Right.
The love of neighbors.
Right.
A man and a wife that agree together.
Right. You see that? That's beautiful. And that's what they had to break, the unity. Go ahead,
I got counterpart. A part that answers to or resembles another.
Right. Just on the Ecclesiastes 25:1, because they resemble each other, right? They're the counterpart, right? How did they get there? According to what we just read, how did they become the counterpart on what he's touching on?
They agreed together.
They what?
Agreed together.
They did what?
Agreed together.
Now, that agreement had to be what?
Mutual.
In what, though?
In the Most High. True.
Listen, how many relationships agree together in the world? How many of them last? How many black families, black community, black households, Hispanic households last? It's rare. I seen a sister in the bank the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, that ring is huge, girl." She's like, "Yeah, my husband." She's like, "Oh, it just sits up like that." I was like, "Nah, he got you something nice, like that." And she said, "We've been together since high school. It's been over like 40 years. And I said to her, loyalty. I said, you can't get that these days. I said, you can't get loyalty these days. Why? Because that's been broken down. So the beautiful part about the beauty is in the man and the woman coming together and agreeing, right? That's what brings the virtue of this woman. That's the only way she's going to be his counterpart, right? Right. Go ahead. Oh. Okay.
When a man calls a woman a queen, why do some brothers say if there is no scripture about calling a woman a queen, some men are out of order?
Well, the woman, we never had queens in Israel. So tradition-wise, we never had queens. You know, so that's where brothers are coming from. We had princesses. Okay, the queens came about through the other nations.
But she's saying men call their women queens, so are they out of order?
Men call their women queens? Oh, their woman queen? You know what? We have to understand this. What we do is going to be an example. This is where brothers are coming from. What you do is going to be an example. So if the Bible don't teach it and you're saying it, then what's going to happen? To confusion. So that's where that's coming from. But I'm sure the brother doesn't mean, okay, you know, like these Egyptology cats, like we got to worship the woman. See, that's what brothers is trying to do, Israel, when they say don't call your woman queen. They lifted up the woman to where they bow down to them. Okay? So that's why we don't call them queens. But when brothers do it, I'm sure they don't mean I'm going to go in my closet and I'll die. You're everything. You're everything. Like, it ain't nothing going to get between me and my queen. Like, first of all, it's supposed to be the creator. See, when you go into that mind, then there's a problem. You understand? Then there's a problem because we're supposed to be in love with the Most High. They're supposed to be in love with us. That doesn't mean, and that's why we went over this tonight, that the man looks down and degrades and the woman is nothing. That just means that we never called the women queens, especially because these nations, they lift the woman up on this pedestal, right? To where they worship the woman, right? So that, I think that's where the confusion comes in with that. You know, remember what we do is an example. So if we're teaching that, if you don't look at the scriptures, right, and you find a woman being called a queen, and you're saying that, brother's going to be like, well, why do you say that? Right? Why are you saying she's a queen? Brother, that ain't in the Bible. So for example's sake, don't call her the queen. You know, you wouldn't call her that. You would call her my princess. Right? So you got to remember, I understand totally what you're saying. You know, because if you call somebody a queen, that ain't going to take away nothing. But for example's sake, people will think what?
There's queens in the Bible.
Yeah, there was queens in the Bible, and you might worship her like the cats in Egyptology. So hopefully that answers that question. Back to the point, though.
Counterpart.
Right, counterpart.
A part that answers to or resembles another.
Now stop. I want you to read that Genesis 2:18. I'm going to show you what the Most High just made. When he made woman, he made a counterpart. He made a partner, a person that is able to agree with her husband. That's a beautiful thing. There's nothing negative in that. See, that's why you ever notice the women that give advice normally don't have men? Like, you ever think of that? Like, they be the ones that always got something to say. But the Most High, he blessed that. Think of this. Christ said, where two or more gathered, so is he. So when you and your husband agree together in the house, Christ is always there. Right? Read that.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
See, it's not a good thing. The Most High is letting you know. Like those that take a vow of a unit, that's something else. We talk about men and women that are dwelling together. He said it's not good that a man should be alone. Read.
I will make him a help meet for him.
He made him a counterpart. It said in counterpart, it said one that closely resembles another. One that has the same functions or characteristics as the other. The Most High made someone to emulate you. You're needed. So when I'm out doing my job for the Most High, you out doing your job for the Most High and the body, right? The Most High and the children. Because think about it, a man's job. This ain't even about men. This is solely for women. Your job is a lot more important out there than it is for us, because our job starts here. We dealing with learning, teaching, and then edifying. Your job is to learn, teach, edify, and also be an asset. You the one that has, like it said in Proverbs, which we're gonna go through, about how a woman gets up early. She working with her hands. She's out there getting it. She's an important asset right along with them. So we gonna jump to real quick. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 24.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36.
That's what they tried to strip. They've done everything in their power to strip that beauty, that love, that man and woman has. You know, that the Most High said He was beautified in. So they have to divide the households. They have to divide the families. You know, and this is where we have to understand and come back. We have to come back our position. We have to come back to our where the Most High put us, right? What He told us we need to be. I don't know what's going on with that thing. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession.
See, the Most High showing you, man, when you get something, it's good. Read.
A help like unto himself.
A help. Why? In Genesis, He made a help. He made a help. He made somebody that resembles what's good. The Most High said, listen, it's not good that man should dwell alone. I'm going to make him a help. A pillar. Read it.
A pillar of rest.
A pillar of rest. Our rest comes through you. That's why you're important.
Right?
We love the Most High, but when we go home, we love home-cooked food. That's why you're there. We love when the house is in order. We love when the children are in order. Why? Because that's where our rest comes from. Look at the fight that men have to go through just in being Judah, Issachar, out in the world. Just think of we dodge police, we dodge white supremacy, we dodge male chauvinism, because it ain't about men no more, it's about women. Right. They want to breed us out and take our women. That's our natural resource. Plants don't grow without soil. You can have all the seeds you want, but you can't plant unless you have soil. And they're stripping our soil from us. And that's why it's important to really understand the attributes of a virtuous woman, because she's necessary. Nothing grows without her. Yeah, the Most High allows us to do our job, but women are needed. Give me Ruth, chapter 3, verse 11. Because this is what society does. They try to tear us down, man. They try to make it like we nobodies.
Yeah.
Like you ain't nothing. You just another black woman. You just another nigga. You just another Mexican. You ain't nothing. Then they raise their women up. They got these dead, stringy haired, blue-eyed devils out here, making them look like they somebody. Right? They throw them on TV. They throw them on commercials. Every product you buy got them on. Like, that's beautiful. The Most High told you who was beautiful. But we're going to go through the scriptures and let the scriptures show you who's beautiful.
You know what? Before you get that, could we go through Deuteronomy? Go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Test it. It's the hole right there.
Yeah, it's not.
Test it. You got that?
Yeah, that goes into the hair of Job, where Job talked about his daughters. And then,
No, not there. You can have that. Yeah, go to Deuteronomy, test it, that's it.
It's on.
Test it, huh? Okay, Deuteronomy 28, just really quick, just showing you what we're fighting against. What is it, Deuteronomy 28:56?
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56.
Now, we're gonna touch on, read that. But we're gonna touch on this again, but I'm gonna bring out a point on here.
Deuteronomy 28 and 56.
Go ahead.
The tender and delicate woman among you,
Right.
which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground,
Right.
for her delicateness
Right.
and tenderness.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
That's what we're fighting out of.
Right.
We're fighting that. We're fighting to come back and show the woman that she is needed. She is important. Because, the black man hasn't been a man. The Israelite man has not been a man. We have not stepped up to the plate. Right? We have not treated our women right. We have not treated our kids right. So when the black man, when the Israelite man comes to terms with themselves and say, you have to step up in the spirit of Christ, then we can start uniting this household. Right? That much more, the woman, knowing how much more she's important. If you don't know how to be one with your husband, to show that virtue to the Most High, then your house is going to be divided. Your house is going to be separate. It's going to be negative chaos. If you're in disagreement with your husband, your kids are going to see that. If you have a daughter, she's going to be just like mom. If you're disagreeing loud, roll your eyes, moving your head, your daughter's going to be like you. Then the son, right, he's going to look at dad, and, if it's an Israelite man, and he got some sense, he's not going to be trying to argue or choke you out, right? So he's going to have to sit there and converse with you. What is that going to look like to the kid? It's going to look like, oh, I got to get me a woman that yells at me, screams at me, right? So we're fighting to destroy and get past this. But everybody, you have to see the value in yourself, the importance in yourself, and that's being that virtuous woman.
And read that scripture again, because I want to show you something in that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness.
That's how we thought of you. Y'all was tender and delicate. When we had you in when the Most High had us in our power, our women weren't even allowed to touch the ground.
Yeah.
You got to really look at that. Because for you to really say that you're not important is insane because of the way you were treated. Now, you got to be fair with the men and your husband and the brothers and the people around you, how you treat yourself. You got to look at how you treat yourself. Because it's important to know that until you respect yourself, how you going to expect somebody to respect you?
Right.
When you out here half naked, when you jump in the car and you got hate men music on, but then you want a man. You see what I'm saying? That's chaos. But you got to look at it said that you were tender and delicate. That's an attribute that a man gave you. That wasn't something that was just out there. No, it's like at home with our wives. When I go home, there's attributes that I look for in my woman. That's why she's my woman.
Right.
When she's moving a certain way and doing this, that's why you can tell when she's out of the spirit.
Right. I like how you said a man gave that to you, and I'm gonna expound on that. You make a woman feel sexy. You make a woman feel sloppy, right? Don't your husband make you feel sexy? Calm, sir. Calm. Does not your husband make you feel sexy? Stop thinking of personal, think in general, right? Does he not? He give you that feeling, right? Like he's, okay, let me reword it another way, because she's like, y'all like, no, he don't. He can make you feel sexy. He can bring you up, he can bring you down. That tender and delicateness is what y'all are going to go back to. Y'all going to have your servants carrying y'all around. You understand? So if you got some weight on you, you're going to have a lot of servants carrying you around. You know what I mean? If it was only 4, it's going to be 9, right? But you will be carried around because you are princesses of Israel. And that's what the Most High wants to bring you back to. But you have to, I like this class, man, because you have to respect yourself and you have to see what virtue is.
Listen, let me show you something in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 6. This is an attribute of virtuality, being virtuous. This is the beginning. One of the things you got to pay attention to is your speech. Your speech makes you virtuous. When you step in the house, sometimes a person can do something wrong, and it's good to let them see. That way they can correct it themselves, and you can see the growth in that person. But when you're always on top of everything you think you understand, it kills your virtue. It makes it to where, like I said, a woman that's loud to a quiet man, like it becomes an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. That virtue, these are things that stick out because everybody else notices. When you're in a store or something and something goes wrong, you look at the average woman, you're like, oh, why you do that? What's this? Who's this? There's no virtue in that. There's no value in that. They're all over the streets. But just paying attention to how you carry yourself, the things you say, how you approach your husband, it's important. So read that.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Read it again.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
That's humility. That right there is virtue. That's rare. That's a sign of humility. You got to really understand what it takes to humble down and call a man Lord. Your husband, Lord. Read.
Whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
See, you're a part of that if you're not afraid to do good. If you're not afraid to be, why would you be around a bunch of wicked people and be afraid to do good? Why? When you got pulled out of the mire, we were living certain lives. Sisters, man, I've seen sisters have to strip to feed kids. Most likely pull you out of that. Now, because you got a head wrap and they teasing you, you're afraid. That's not the attribute the Most High wants you to have. Listen, go to Ruth chapter 3, verse 11. I want you to see this.
Ruth chapter 3, verse 11. And now, my daughter, fear not.
Fear not. Read.
I will do to thee all that thou requirest.
The Most High is going to bless you, man. For everything that you fight for, everything you out there suffering for, you know how it is. It's always a battle. It's almost like you put a Hebrew on an application and you're going to fill out a job, and they want to consider that because the world's so wicked, we stand out. When the dyke girl at your job wants you to come hang out, you're like, that's wrong. Like you got a spirit on you. You become a reject instantly. But that's a good thing. He said, fear not. Read.
For all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman.
See, the Most High and his women, the sisters that follow virtue, they know what you are. You stick out to them as well. So when these are doing them and you doing you know what ends up happening? You end up looking, it'd be another woman right across the room that desired an example. So you just became an example for her. So you gotta remember this, man. You like they say in the world, you are somebody. You are important. You are a counterpart. There's no putting down. You know, I see on videos where brothers and sisters are putting down women and saying in the spirit of the Lord. Like people gotta change, but nobody put you down when you wasn't changing. You got the same love the same attention that this woman should get. So that don't make you no better just because you got chosen and you're a man. Because she got chosen too. She got chosen in a different arena, a different area. Her job may not be on the podium dropping John 3:16. Her job may be a support to the body, something you can't even do because most of us got criminal records. So you can't even move through society like you want to, but you want to put a person down that can. That's not right. You got to see that. And I'm going to show you something real quick. Go to Proverbs chapter 31. We're going to go into that virtue. Because it's important to understand what virtue means and what it shows you.
Proverbs chapter 31.
Just start at verse 10.
Verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
See, you can't put a number on something that's virtuous. You can't buy virtue. This is something that is given through humility. The Most High gives you that. That's a gift from Him. And you can't buy. That's why you see rich men with miserable lives. Their wives cheat on them. They don't even have a connection with them. But they got a nice house and a nice car. They out in public. She got the stone face. He ain't even got his arm around her. They at the movies and she on the cell phone. She's not even paying him attention. You see what I'm saying? That virtue is what it can't be bought. It said it's far beyond rubies. Read it.
Verse 10. This is Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can find one? You go to the club, you're not going to find that. They're not there. They're not walking around in poo-poo shorts talking about I want to be virtuous. They're there for a good time. They're not there to change. You got to, first, those that have and want to change, you got to change the arenas you in. Is that saying you can't go out? No. What it's saying is you are what you eat. With how you look and how you carry yourself. That's what you attract. Mm-hmm. So you got to remember that when you're in the world, because the battle is only hard for you because of the things that you entertain. Right? Read.
Verse 11.
Matter of fact, yeah, go ahead. And before you do that, I want to give you the definition of what virtue is. It says righteous. It says righteous. It says good and pure. It says upright. It says principled, morally excellent, and chaste. These are actually, I'm going to say it again for you. It says virtue is righteous, it's good, it's pure, upright. Principle. You got principles. See, that's a beautiful thing to see a woman with principles. That's rare. Like that jewel. It's rare. You can't buy that. Then it said it's morally excellent. Her thoughts. She got values to where she's not going to let that happen. She's not going to go, that's not my thing. Sorry. Hey, can I? Nope. Why? Because she's morally excellent. She won't even let you take her spirit just because she's lonely. She got morals and she got values.
Can I get one right with that? Wow, that's beautiful, man. Ecclesiastes 26:2. Ecclesiastes 26, verse 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 2.
Verse 1.
Verse 1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife.
Yeah, so this is what the Most High is showing us. You're blessed. Your house is blessed. Your wife, your children. So, this is rare, though. This is rare, but it's rare like a good man. It's rare like a good man. Think about it, man. 144,000. 1/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be saved. He said like a drop to a wave. So everything is rare at this time. Let's be real. Everything is rare. Right? But the Most High wants the rare thing. He wants you to see how much you're worth. And a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters, since we're doing women class, a lot of sisters don't see their worth. They don't see their value. And how much more they can raise their value. You don't see that. And you have to. You have to give yourself to the Most High, give yourself to Christ to let that value come up. Y'all get that, sisters? Go ahead.
For the number of his days shall be doubled.
Yeah, and this is how, like you said, when a man comes into the house and he comes into that virtuous woman, she understands how to keep the house at peace, right? To keep the right spirit. She knows how to talk. She knows how to communicate, right? That's going to keep the house right, right? Now, I know some of you brothers is like, yeah, who the hell is that, huh? They're there. The Most High can bless you. Watch, I'll let the scripture speak. Read.
A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband.
Read.
And he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
Right, read on.
A good wife is a good portion.
Right.
Which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
You want a good woman? Fear the Most High. He'll send you a good woman. You want to know why you keep messing with thoughts? Because you ain't fearing the Most High. Every time the brothers tell you, get on track. Get in the right mind. This is how you receive everything, by pleasing the Most High, right? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. There's virtuous women, but a lot of these women, they don't know what they are. You understand? So no sister in here came with a hairdress, with a dress on. You understand? Talking about Yahweh Shema Lathan Yahweh Shema Shah. None. But as it was revealed to them what that inward is, that real spirit in them, what that's about, that virtuous woman was already sitting there. It's in them. Right? The scriptures say, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Right? So the point of him bringing this out is for sisters to see the greatness in them. You understand? To see the virtue in you and not settle to the devil, not settle to the white, for the white man, for his mind, for America, their mind. We got a question? Yeah. What's the comment?
I'm so elated that the Most High directed me to this class. It's an ongoing subject matter that I've been praying over. I am a mature single woman, eyes and ears open.
Right. Barakatah how? Bless the Most High, bless Christ, right? So a virtuous woman rejoices with her husband. So look at the attributes of this woman. This, Barnabas said it before. In the eyes of the Most High's, in the Most High's eyes, this is what is counted as great. The Most High wants to see a virtuous woman, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart.
Okay, that's it on that. Go ahead.
Jump to verse, so right now we're in Proverbs 31. I want you to jump to verse 14. I'm going to show you something. I had to dig into this verse here because it's important. Because you can't be something if you don't know the attributes of it. It's important to be something if you, listen, how you going to be, it's like how you going to be a ballet dancer, you don't know how to dance. You know what I mean? You can take the title of something, but you really got to understand the in-depthness of it and what it means. So read that.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 14. She is like the merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar.
Now, does anybody in here know what a merchant ship is? Any sisters? Sister?
No, you just answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Salak means forgive.
Oh.
It means forgive me. Like when they get something wrong, you hear them say Salak. Yeah. It means forgive me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you said a merchant ship.
A merchant ship.
Oh, will they bring merchandise?
Right.
Okay.
Right. A merchant ship. But a merchant ship, it has value to it. It's important. Think if you were stranded on an island and you saw a merchant ship. Think if you've been waiting 6 months for them to bring supplies to you. How important that is. You got to think about that. I went into the in-depthness of a merchant ship, and I'm going to show you something. It says merchant ship. It says she is ever on the lookout for opportunities. It says the merchantship, a woman, she's not just settling for less. She's out there. She's a go-getter. She's always looking for opportunities. That's a characteristic of a merchantship.
Right. Can I add something right with what you're saying? Because you're speaking of this opportunity. You're speaking of this. She's always out innovating.
On the lookout. On her business.
Now let's jump to Proverbs 14:1 to show in what way. Proverbs 14:1.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
So this merchantship is getting these goods. She's looking, innovative, thinking, right? Pursuing to do what?
Buildeth her house.
She's doing this to build her house. Whatever she's doing, she's thinking about the husband, the wife, the husband, the kids, right? A wise woman builds. So all these values, as he touches on him, keep this in mind. All these values is to do one thing: to build the house, to build the kingdom. You understand? This is what we've been stripped from. This is what ripped us apart as a family, and not had a woman, really backing her man, because the white man taught them how to be selfish. And the white man taught all of us how to be selfish, right?
We the king of self.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You
Yeah. I was looking at World Star, and there was this one rapper. This one all-brand rapper we probably don't even know about. But anyway, they were saying that he disowned his kid because he had autism. And there's stories like that shows that why the Most High gave the black man the black woman with the loud mouth, the wicked woman, right? Because you're a wicked nigga. You know what I mean? So, when you do stuff like that, so go back, the merchantship, right, is to bring all these values right back to your husband, to your household, to your kids. Because remember, everything you bring home, your kids are going to pick back up on.
Here's the question.
What's the question?
What does a man have to do to find a virtuous woman, and where can he start to look for one?
Can we go back to sex? Brothers is looking for this. Go back to Ecclesiastes 26.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 3.
And the Bible is going to give you the answer on how to get a virtuous woman. Read it one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 1.
Ecclesiastes 26 verse, straight to the point,
Verse 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
A good wife is a good portion and will be given to them that will be given to them that fear the Lord.
It didn't say found.
Yeah, it didn't say you found her in the club with the mini skirt on. It says she was going to be given to you, but you had to do what? You had to do what?
Fear the Lord.
You had to do what?
Fear the Lord.
You had to fear the Most High. Right? Our problem is what?
We don't fear the Most High.
We don't fear the Most High. We're high-strung and thirsty as hell, and you're texting any and everything that's on YouTube, or like Banabad and Bashaba says, Yah singles, and you figure because they're in Yah singles, and they got a hair wrap on, they're righteous. Yah singles, yeah. Right. So that's the first mistake, is you doing that. The second mistake is brothers don't want to commit themselves and work on themselves.
Right.
With patience, love, compassion, doubt, pride, all these things out of yourself, because those you're going to have to teach to your wife and show her how to be those things. Okay? It's been a long thought that a man is just that the woman is just forgive me for my term I'm going to use, a sex tool, and not really understanding that, brother, we're in hell. You have to put in work to make her virtuous. Or rather, you know what? Wrong words. You have to put in work to show her her virtue. Because it's there, it's in her, but she don't know it. Just like us. Remember that. This is nothing different than the man. The man, you was a thug, bum ass nigga selling crack, dope, drugs, right? Selfish, didn't care about nobody or nothing else. All you did was get high and play video games. But Christ said, he was humble. I want to make him a man. Right? So, if we learn those two things as men, that we ourselves got to get our head right, and then we got to ask the Most High to give us the women. He has sent you a virtuous woman. Yeah. That was Ecclesiastes 26, the chapter, brother. The chapter, but that was the 26th, verse 3 you can read. Okay? All right, so go ahead.
So, we're talking about a merchant ship. What's the most important thing on a merchant ship?
It's merchandise.
Yes.
The ship itself.
No.
The captain.
The captain.
Okay.
Because if you didn't got a captain, the ship just floating around that sea.
Right.
There's no direction being given. And in this merchant ship, it said the merchant ship must have a pilot. Listen, a true Israelite woman must have Christ as her pilot in her heart and in her home. See, when you bring in the goods in, you got to have Christ on your mind when you're going through these, when you're delivering these things to your household, to your family, and you got to have solid direction. You got to be guided. You got to be guided, and the pilot of your ship has to be Christ. Other than that, we're going to keep going. Check this out. It says ships. What are ships guided by? A helm, or what else? Like if you want to get somewhere, what are you going to do? Like a GPS.
Navigation.
Right, like navigation. It says ships are guided with a compass. It says so a woman must be guided. It says so a woman must guide their lives and their homes by the word of the Most High. So your guidance is supposed to be the word. Every time a situation occurs, you're supposed to be able to go in that book and pull what's necessary to get back on track, so you don't veer off. These are attributes of a merchant ship. This is what's important if you want to have these virtuous qualities. This was it. He put the merchant ship in here for a reason. If you break things down and you study, you'll see the severity and the reason why these words are being used. These aren't just big words or words to make the book look smart. These words have meaning. It says ships bring precious cargo, meaning they transfer the blessings from heaven to the lives around her. So when you carry, what are you carrying? Are you carrying resentment? Are you carrying pain from past relationships? When you come to deliver your goods to your family, your husband, to the body, do you have resentment? Are you holding things inside that are allowing your cargo to get spoiled by the time it reaches? Like you got to really think about that. This spiritual ship that you guide your life in, that the Most High is supposed to give you your direction. You're supposed to really pay attention to the cargo, what you deliver to people.
Right, because we just read in Proverbs 14:1, it says, a wise woman buildeth her house, but a wicked woman pulleth down with her hands. So if you don't understand what spirits you're harboring, your baggage, right? Your all your bags you got, you're going to bring that right to your house and overthrow your house. See, it's most important that you understand that you're the stability of the family. You understand? You're the stability of the family. Do you got that? Where's that come down? You know that's down there.
About Perils? Yeah, we went, that was Ecclesiastes 32.
Yeah, go there. Go back there real quick. Go back there real quick just to make this point.
Ecclesiastes 36. 24? 24.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 24.
Right?
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession,
Right?
a help like unto himself,
Go ahead.
and a pillar of rest.
A pillar. A pillar. You are, when you look at this building right here, where's the pillars at? You see right here, this pillar, that pillar, these pillars in here are holding up this house. That's how important the sisters, the women of Israel are. Because if you chop these pillars down, that's I like the brothers on point tonight. The words are used for a reason. Why did it say pillar?
That's the support.
That's the support. If you're this ship and you're bringing all this baggage back, that's foul, that's nasty, that's dirty, that's filthy, and you're not, taking it through customs and making customs look at it and see if you got spoiled food and goods, the custom is supposed to be Christ. Custom is supposed to be your mind guided in the spirit of the Most High. The house is going to fall. Why does it call a wicked woman? A wicked woman pulls it down. Why?
Because without these pillars, it's going to fall.
Without the pillars, it's going to fall, but she pulls it down. She doesn't care. She's not thinking. You understand? So, but we're talking about the positive necessities. Go ahead.
So, what is something that a ship goes through?
Storm.
Right. What else?
Currents.
Right. Everything is trying to, you got to think about it. Everything is against this ship. Everything is trying to keep this ship from delivering its goods. And it says here, it says, a ship endures storms. It says she has divine protection when moral and spiritual storms threaten the welfare of her children, the body, and herself. You got to think about that. It said, I'm going to read it again. It said a ship endures storms. She has divine protection. That comes from the Most High. When moral and spiritual storms, there's things that come up against y'all sisters that only you know. Whether it's the guy at your job pressuring you, whether it's the guy that put his hand on you the wrong way, or the spiritual storms where you're losing so many things that you consider to be important that now you have these certain spirits around you that try to pull you in, like frustration. You become what's the other one? Depressed. You start looking at these things, but you gotta understand that's part of the merchant ship's job is to be able to cut through that. It said especially when it threatens the welfare of the children, because listen, what you do echoes into your family. So you gotta consider that before you make any actions. It says the children, the body, those that are, especially as in camps, what you do affects the camp. How you talk, how you deal, these things affect. When these storms come up, it said you have divine protection. But you got to be in tune. The Most High Christ and those scriptures, they have to be guiding you. It said, and herself, you're supposed to be able to go back home. You're supposed to be able to recharge. If your husband's gone away on business, cat business, whatever business, or he just ain't around at that time, the whole point of you being here is so you can recharge yourself. I can't be there all the time. He can't be there all the time. So it said that divine protection, the Most High is there. So you're supposed to tap into those scriptures, tap into the Most High. Tell the Most High your problems. Pray, fast. You got to see that these are the methods, but these are the things that These are the attributes that a merchant ship has. It says, now remember this. It says, a merchant ship is well stocked. It said, what is a merchant ship supposed to be stocked with? What is your spiritual merchant ship supposed to be stocked with?
Nutrients live off of.
Right. Think about it. It ain't about you. It's about the people you delivering it to. See, it ain't about you. It's about the person you're going to see. It said it's to be well stocked, always on the duty to cheer, comfort, exhort, and encourage. It says, always on duty to cheer and comfort and to exhort and encourage. That's what you're supposed to deliver every time you're around. That's what you're supposed to bring to the people. You're supposed to bring encouragement. When you see your children feeling down, you're supposed to bring that ability to exhort, to comfort, to cheer. When you see a sister that ain't doing good, you're supposed to be that uplifting spirit to them. That's your cargo. You're supposed to be stocked with that. There should never come a time where you in the world and the world see you suffer. It tells you in the Bible, even when you fast and you wash your face,
Right.
you're supposed to carry a good spirit about you.
Right.
Then it says, this is the most important. It says, ships never keep nothing for themselves. You're constantly, you know what a merchant ship's job is? To constantly give. You're always giving. It don't matter who accepts it and who appreciates it. Your job is to keep giving. It says ships never keep nothing for themselves. She is unselfish, sacrificial. Even when you don't think you got enough water to make it back on this trip, but your job is to give to those that don't have water. You're sacrificial. Why? Because you have divine protection. Most High, why would you let the same thing that's feeding the people be destroyed? But you got to be in tune with the scriptures.
Right. Can I get one?
Yes,
right
sir.
with that? Go to Ecclesiastes, back to Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 22.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 22.
Just to add what he's saying. Go ahead.
The beauty of a woman cherisheth the countenance.
Right. So this is how is that beauty going to be beautified? With the right spirit on it. We went over that the other day on the cable show about demonic possession. Well, what spirits are you letting in? What thoughts are you letting in? Because your countenance is going to show really what is in your mind. Your beauty is based off of that spirit. See, we're looking at the carnal, but even a not so good looking woman, if her spirit is right, she can be the best thing to you.
Yep.
So this is what the Most High is looking at. Go ahead.
And a man loveth nothing better.
Read.
If there be kindness.
If there be what?
Kindness.
So when he's talking about the merchant ship, what you're bringing back to the type of character, the type of virtue this woman has. She has what?
Kindness.
She's a what type of woman?
Kind. Meekness.
Go ahead. She's what?
Meek.
Read.
And comfort in her tongue.
Right. So this is that virtuous woman. Right? She's kind. She's meek. She's virtuous. She can communicate. She's give. When you think of a nun, you're thinking of a person that is giving themselves to Christ, right? That's how you got to look at yourself. You understand? But you don't have to be a nun. We're all a nation of kings and priests, right?
Right.
But when you look at a nun, what do you think of? A woman that is giving herself, right, to the body, to Christ. She's giving, she's nursing, she's caring, she's thankful. She can be gone to, right? These are the characteristics the Most High said, once again, brings out the beauty of a woman.
Right.
You see that all the time? You see that, right? Her beauty comes through the virtue. Go ahead.
Verse 23. If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue,
Right.
then is not her husband like other men.
Right. So y'all see that, right? I just wanted to add that. Go ahead.
That's good, man. Because in that last part, it says, like it says, nothing for herself. She is unselfish and sacrificial. It says, whose lives are spent for the enrichment of others when a woman is after the Most High's own heart.
Wow.
Because when you're fighting for the Most High's attention and the Most High's love, you're not worried about nothing else. That's that divine protection that He offers you. Why? Because you're after the Most High's heart. Every day you get up, it ain't about what you got, it's about who you can give it to. That's what the Most High is looking at. Real quick, I'm gonna show you something.
Can I add one more with that?
All right.
First Timothy, just right with what you're saying. First Timothy 5, verse 5.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 5.
Right.
Now,
No, because we're talking about this merchant ship. We're talking about this virtuous woman, right? And what she's supposed to be bringing to her house to in representation of the Most High in Christ. Her meek, her humble character, right? Her giving, her loyal spirit, right? Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now she that is a widow indeed,
Right.
and desolate, trusteth in God.
She what?
Trusteth in God.
Now, I know you think, well, that's to a widow. We're all widows right now. We've all lost. Okay, so it's talking to the woman that you what?
Trusteth in God.
That this is the type of woman that trusts in the Most High. I'm going here because right where he was going over about this character of this merchant ship, which is an example of how this woman's spirit's supposed to be. She does what?
Trusteth in God.
Go ahead.
And continueth in supplications and prayers night and day.
See, when you think of a nun, you think of this. But remember, all the women of Israel supposed to be doing that. Y'all understand that? This is what's going to show your praise and your virtue to the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Right. So jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. Well reported of for good works.
Right. So this woman is well reported of good works. How do you know she's a good merchant ship? Because it's not a ship that just goes back and forth and breaks down all the time. Right?
Or I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, it's a caring, loving ship. This is the virtue that the Most High is choosing you for. She's good works, right? Good character, good demeanor, right? Not talking under the tongue, not looking at people sideways, not having negative in your mind, but learning how to be that virtuous character. Let me ask you this, just off the topic, because I see y'all getting a little sleepy here. Do y'all think this is possible?
Oh, indeed.
Do y'all believe? Stop. I know you believe. Yes, it is. It's possible. A lot of y'all, the point of the brother's class is to show you it's in you. That's the point of the class. This is in you. The thing is, the devil is a lie.
Right?
The devil's a lie, and he's going to try to strip you. He's going to try to say, you know what? You're just an angry, black, nigga, spit, porch monkey. You ain't nobody. You ain't never going to be none. The only way for you to get around is run around butt naked.
The food stamps.
With your breasts hanging out and showing your body to the world. That's all you're worth. That's a lie. You understand? The Israelite women are way more than that. But these attributes that he's reading about, you have to understand this is what makes you that. Go ahead. Let's finish this and then go right back. Go ahead.
If she had lodged strangers,
what type of woman is she? She's courteous. She's lodged strangers. She ain't got to be told or given the order by, hey, listen, go do this, go do that. You know why that has to be done? Why does that have to be done with brothers? Tie your shoes, pull up your pants. The scripture says you're under tutors until that spirit comes on you. Y'all don't understand that. We're all under tutors. The law is a tutor to win. We will be the law. We will be the law. We won't need the Bible no more. It said it's going to be written in our inward parts. So yeah, your husband might have to tell you until that spark and the realization between you and Christ what character he wants. And then you see, I'm not giving and lodging and taking care of people and doing my work for him. I'm doing it for him. Yes, I love him. I love my husband, but I'm doing it for the Most High. So the character, the attributes, these characters you're becoming, that's there already sitting dormant, that's been suppressed, depressed, oppressed. You have to, I'm gonna say it, you gotta let your light shine. Let it shine, oh, let it shine. You understand? You have to. It's in you. I'm going to say it again. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Read on.
If she had washed the saints' feet.
She did what?
Washed the saints' feet.
No, she was given an order to wash the saints' feet.
If she had washed the saints' feet.
Brother, what you're bringing out about this merchant ship is so powerful and deep because a merchant ship, it's naturally doing what it was created for. You understand? It's naturally doing what it's created for. You don't have to, you know why you have to be told, brother, go pass out flyers? Because you haven't realized what you're naturally created for, to serve your people, your nation. So you're under tutors. I want y'all to remember that. Because a lot of women, they come in, you get your husband, and your husband's like, here, do this. When it's natural, when you two twine become one flesh, it's natural. You're already doing it. You don't have to be told no more. It's like an officer. You understand? It's like Father right? He's been sick for the last few days, so we got to pray for him. But I'm not saying to Father hey, go study, brother. I have to do that to new people, though. Why? Because they haven't built up that sincerity within themselves to know to study. Hey, get ready for your test, Why? Why do we tell new brothers that? Because why? They have to be reminded their purpose. But the officer, one's an officer, what? 13,000. At this point, he's already studying, got classes ready. He's already looking at everybody in what way he needs to help. So I don't have to call Father 1 and be like, you ain't been studying, what's your problem, brother? I'm going to take it back to the woman now. The reason why your husband has to tell you is because it's just giving you the reminder, sparking up that engine of the thing that's already in you. It's in you. And after a while, you'll see, he lets off the reins and you're going to become naturally what the Most High created you for. That is all of us. I did it when I came in. Same thing. Brothers was like, go here, do this. No, that's wrong. Wrong thought process. Why? Show me that. Show me in the scripture. You get this is why. Right? Until I realized I had to sit back my time in the truth and realize I'm not in here for man. I'm not in here for you. That's what my pops being in the truth. I had to realize I'm not here for you. I'm actually doing this for me. That's when I realized that It's not a man. It's not about man. It's not about rank. It's not about position. It's not about none of that. It's about serving the Most High and serving His people. When you, as women, wives, understand that, your whole house will be in order. Why? Because you're going to do these things naturally. You know why you know why you get angry when you're given the orders and told? Because you're fighting against it. What is naturally created in you. What? You're kicking against the pricks. Go ahead. Read on.
If she had washed the saints' feet.
Go ahead.
If she had relieved the afflicted.
This is natural. Right? When you look at the afflicted of our people, we mourn for them. It ain't like, oh, brother, you should feel for them. Why, brother? But don't we have to be taught that in the beginning? Until that natural love is in us. And then we start to say, damn, I'm over here thinking about me, my little Israelite soap opera world, and you got our brothers and sisters on crack and dope and drugs. You know what I mean? You got our brothers and sisters in the street, brothers still throwing their kids over the bridge, black men, black women, killing their children. And I'm over here tripping about how I ran out of gas. I'm over here tripping about how I had to give that brother or sister a ride, some food, some clothes, some alms. Right? Y'all have to understand this, man. It's in you. You have to see your purpose. Go ahead.
If she had diligently followed every good work.
Right.
But the younger widows.
Right. So, go ahead.
Now, that was powerful, man. I want to show you something. We went through virtue. I'm going to show you your beauty. Because the world will beat us down, and now we ourselves, we think we're not beautiful. Israelites think they're not beautiful people. But we're going to go through the scripture. I'm going to go through it quick for you to show you where your beauty is, that you are beautiful. You'll go to Genesis 1 and 27. And then I want you to grab Songs of Solomon chapter 4 real quick. Read that.
Okay, I don't have it.
Genesis 1 and 27.
Genesis 1, chapter 27. Chapter 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
See, our beauty came from the Most High. We're beautiful because the Most High created us. So, regardless to those that don't understand the Most High, want to put you down and treat you like your black hair is garbage, your big lips is garbage, your stringy hair is garbage, your Latino brown skin is garbage. The Most High made us in His image. He made us in the image. Us Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
We are of the image of the Most High, the Creator.
The first man was black. The first woman was black. And that's what the white man knows, that everybody came from the black man and the black woman.
Yep.
So there's no reason for you to hate yourself.
Yep.
Right?
Can't. Self-hate is the one thing that the white man used to keep you in the same conditions and the predicament you're in. But the Most High is showing us through the scriptures that we're beautiful people, man. We're very beautiful. Matter of fact, hold that. I want you to grab Psalms chapter 50 and verse 2. This is out of the word of this is out of the Most High's mouth.
Psalm chapter 50, verse 2. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shone.
We are the perfection. Our dark skin, our kinky hair, we are the perfection of Zion. The Most High created us in His image. So it doesn't matter if you're the only dark-skinned girl at your little light-skinned job, or you're only Latino in an all-white establishment. Your beauty is still shining.
Right.
The Most High, that's why they hate you. They hate you because they can't go out in the sun. They got to prepare themselves for a sunny day. But that's what the Most High love shining on us. That's the Most High showing us that we're different. It said out of Zion comes the perfection. We're perfect because the Most High created us to be perfect. So as you go around and you're in this world, and these people trying to beat you down and treat you like you ain't nobody, just remember, we were created in the eyes of the Most High. And I'm going to show you something in Songs of Solomon chapter 4. Now, I want you to understand this. It's talking about wisdom, but at the same time, the way he identifies wisdom is like a woman. So that shows you he was in tune with wisdom and women. Read that.
Songs of Solomon 4 and 1?
Yes, sir.
Songs of Solomon chapter 4 and verse 1. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is as a flock of goats.
See, that nappy hair is beautiful, man. Right? Those eyes, those big, white, beautiful eyes, your hair, that's not a curse. That's beauty. Read.
That appear from Mount Gilead. Thy teeth are like a flock of sheep that are even shorn.
Those white teeth that they try to make fun of when they can't see us in a dark place, all they see is our eyes and our teeth. They try to play us like, oh, look at y'all. That's a gift from the Most High. Read.
Which came up from the washing, whereof every one bear twins, and none is barren among them.
Read.
Thy lips are like a thread of scarlet, and thy speech is comely.
See, that's beautiful. Those big full lips, the way you talk, the way you walk, how you carry. It's a love letter. He's expressing the way he felt about wisdom and a woman. Read.
Thy temples are like a piece of pomegranate within thy locks. Thy neck is like the tower of David.
Strong.
Builded for an armory.
You got that strong walk, that strong, that look at our women. We strong. They strong. In the situations y'all in, the way y'all gotta live, the things that are against you, the things that try to put y'all down and try to tear y'all apart. Latino women, man, their men are some of the most abusive men I've ever met. They think beating a woman is control. That's not love. The things that Israelite sisters have to endure makes their neck strong. Read.
Whereon there hang 1,000 bucklers, all shields of mighty men.
Read.
Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins.
We're in love with our women. Your body captivates us. That's why it's so easy that you should really see the love that we have for our women, because everything about you excites us. Read.
Which feed among the lilies until the daybreak, and the shadows flee away. I will get me to the mountain of myrrh, and to the hill of frankincense. Myrrh, and to the hill of frankincense.
Where you at?
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
Thou art all fair, my love. There is no spot in thee.
You perfect. The Most High made you in perfection, and you are perfect.
Right. That's why understanding that a virtuous woman her price is worth more above rubies. Look and understand what the Most High created you to be, and look at how you let the white man put you.
Right.
You let the white man break you down and make you to think about yourself. You know, they put all these things in your head to break down your demeanor, your character. What you just say?
I was going to say they do all that just to come back and try to be like you.
Just like you. They want to be just like you.
Yep. Keep reading.
Verse 8. Come with me from Lebanon, my spouse, with me from Lebanon. Look from the top of Amman, from the top of Senir and Hermon, from the lion's dens, from the mountains of the leopards.
Read.
Thou hast ravished my heart, my sister, my spouse. Thou hast ravished my heart with one of thine eyes.
Just the way our women carry themselves, take our hearts, man. You got to think about when an Israelite woman is righteous, nothing else can enter that. Why do you think these slave niggas go out and get white women? Because our women, our Israelite sisters ain't right. But when you are right, you know what happens? You get our undivided attention. Our hearts are in tune with you. We worry about you. You think of China. You see Judah walking in the mall with a Chinese chick. As soon as a thick, nice sister hit a corner, he pushed her to the side like he ain't with it. Because that's what he truly desires.
Right.
But it's got to have a righteous spirit on it. Because we done seen that over and over again. We done seen the nice looking sister with a bad body. So you got to see that this beauty that you hold, it allows you to open up our heart. Read.
Thou hast ravished my heart with one of thine eyes, with one chain of thy neck. How fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse.
See, you're not only a spouse, but you're a sister. You're a partner. Not an incest sister, but we share the same intimate thought process and goals. We come together, we focus, and we get a lot done when the Most High is in our household, when he's a part of our family. But you got to see the beauty in yourself. Read.
How much better is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointments than all spices.
When a woman is in her good spirit, man, you think when the first thing a man does when he gets in an argument is go out and drink? Because his heart is hurt. It's great. Samson, you know why Delilah got close to Samson? Because Samson fell in love with Delilah. Right. See, we fight. There's a scripture, I remember it. It says a man will go out and have war. And when he comes, he won't share his spoils with the men that he fight with, but he'll give it to his wife.
Yeah, it says second Ezra's, right?
You got to think of that. I'll go to war with you, but I'm putting these to the side for my boo. That's love. Read.
Verse 11. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon.
You are nurturers. The words that you speak, they nurture our spirit. They feed our soul. So you are necessary. You are needed, but you got to know your job. Read.
Verse 12. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Thy plants are an orchard of pomegranate, with pleasant fruits. What is that?
Comfrey.
Comfrey
Mm-hmm.
with spikenard.
Mm-hmm.
Spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all the trees of frankincense and myrrh, and aloes, with all the chief spices.
Listen, he put it on 10. He's like, you smell so good.
Right.
You know how it is when your wife get out the shower, she throws something on. Nothing else matters. That's how important you are. You got to see that, but you got to love yourself. You got to see that. You got to see that righteousness, man. It's important because you are important. How you carry yourself is important. Real quick, you can. I'm done with that. I want you to go to Job chapter 4, 42 and verse 15. You got to remember this, man. You got to remember our beauty. That came from the Most High. Don't let them play you because your skin dark and now you know Terrence Darby is in. Terrence Darby, the light skins. Like, yeah, listen, we ain't ugly just because we dark. Just like brown is beautiful. Latino is beautiful. I watched in a program where they had all the dark-skinned Latinos pushed into the interiors. They had all these Spaniard Latinos with the light skin and blue eyes. They were on all the commercials, all the TV shows. That black skin, that dark skin is beautiful. Read.
Job chapter 42, verse 15. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job.
See, Job was an Israelite. In all the land, there wasn't nothing as beautiful as an Israelite woman. Right. See, don't let them fool you. Don't let them play with you like that. The beauty is in Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel, that's the beauty. Not these old Caucasians and these. Listen, you got to think about it. You can't even go outside when it's hot, right? But you think you're beautiful. You get liver spots from the sun. Yeah. Our women, listen, our skin is designed to tint itself to the conditions of the sun. We are a beautiful people. Our locks, our hair. Listen, give me Judges 16 and 19.
Judges chapter 16, verse 19. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head.
See, that nappy hair, that's natural. That nappy hair is natural, man. The men and women in the Bible had nappy hair. You ain't got to straighten it. You ain't got to be, you know what's crazy? I seen a documentary about a black woman that had died, and they asked the person, they said, what do you think she died from? And they guessed because she had a cut in her head, and they said probably head trauma. Come to find out, she had been getting perms for so long that the lie had actually seeped into her skull and was slowly eating her brain away. You hate yourself so much that you fight to be abnormal. We're normal. The locks is normal. The long hair is normal. The Latinos with the curly hair and the black long hair, or just the natural long hair, why you want to cut it off? Why you want to destroy what the Most High gave you? It's a beautiful thing. Your hair is beautiful. Give me Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 11. Because you got to remember this, man. They've been pulling us down for so long that we hate ourselves. Self-hatred is the worst hatred. Because regardless of how much I tell you you're beautiful, you're going to keep telling yourself you're not. So you got to remember that. You got to remember that every day you wake up, you don't need makeup. You know the most beautiful woman is a woman without makeup. Because the way she carries herself, you can see her spirit. Read that.
Songs of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1.
Yeah. No, verse 11. Yeah. 5:11. You got it? You got it?
Hey, Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 11. His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy.
His locks were bushy. That nappy hair. They got to straighten it out just because they tell you. You got to see that. These are characteristics of the men the Most High created. The women that the Most High created. Those bushy locks, they beautiful. Read.
And black as a razor.
And our hair, you ain't got a color. Now our sisters is putting bleach in their hair. They want to have every color but dark. Why? Because they're trying to run from what the Most High created naturally. You're a beautiful woman naturally. You don't have to go, I got to put highlights in my hair, and then I got to straighten it, and then I got to put the blonde right here. Because why? They push you. I think everybody from Queen Latifah all the way to the sister next door got a blonde wig on, or they done bleached their hair blonde. When the Most High, it said that, read it again, it said Solomon what?
His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy and black as a razor.
He had that black bushy hair. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's not a curse. Don't let them play with you and try to teach you that you are cursed people. We're coming, listen, it said it in Genesis. Go back to Genesis real quick. It said it in Genesis. Now, these were men that their names echoed in eternity. Their names are in the scriptures, and this man is identified in the way he looked to you. He said he got locks that are black and bushy. So then we're going to go right back to Genesis, and we're going to read that again. Read that Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 again.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image.
Read it again.
So God created man in his own image.
Read it again.
So God created man in his own image.
With those black bushy locks. Read.
In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
See, he gave you and the man the same characteristics he had. That black bushy hair. That wasn't no Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
That wasn't no what's the other one that did Moses? Yeah, all these cats, man. You know, if you old, you know about what's his name? The one that did the you know what I'm talking about. The old white man, Charleston Heston. Mm-hmm. That ain't beautiful. That's fake. Most High said, listen, Solomon said he had black hair. His hair was bushy. His locks were bushy. It said that he was beautiful. He was so beautiful. Think about how beautiful he had to be and how much prestige he had to ride around with gold dust in his hair. I'll have 1,000 wives. You sisters are beautiful. You got to remember that, man. You Latinos, Mexicans, Dominicans, Panamanians. Think about how they go into your country and try to breed out the men and kill the men because they want what they can't have.
They want those big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want that. When you see these pale white women, what they do? Go get airbrush tattoos, melanin. They go get implants. They try to be what you hate. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love your skin, the texture, the way you smell. But it's only when you're righteous when you got a good smell. It's only when you're righteous when you don't have that dark cottoness on.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? We talk about the beauty and virtue of a woman because they go hand in hand. You're only as beautiful as you are virtuous. And your beauty, listen, there should be a scale that never tips. It should always have just as much beauty as it is virtue. That's what it is. And if you want to go into 180 degrees, 360 degrees of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, then understand that your 180 should be your beauty, and then your other half should be your virtue. There should be a mix. It should be balanced. Because why? Your beauty is your virtue. And your virtue is your beauty. So you got to remember that as you walk around, because the world, they're going to try to pull you down, and they're going to keep telling you you're ugly. I was told that my whole life with your black self. Tar baby.
You know what? This is important because, man, you got a lot of brothers and sisters that come into truth and misinterpret the change to this virtuous. You see how much it's a battle. You know, like even going over this class, you know, we're avoiding certain scriptures, right? You know, like a shameless woman is counted as a dog, right? You think that's more of a cut. Why? Because the world beat you down so much. The world beat you down so much, so when you look at a shameless woman as counted as a dog, right? That's a shameless woman. Are you shameless? There you go. You shouldn't be. See, but this is where it gets that much more of a battle in the truth. So I like how he showed that the beauty's there, the virtuous woman is in you. You got to let her come out. You have to understand what the Most High is requiring to be more virtuous. You know?
And then the reward of being, like we went over earlier, real quick, jump back to Deuteronomy 28 and 56.
Right.
This is the reward of being virtuous. Think about it. Are you really going to be punished for being on point?
No.
Are you going to be disrespected because you got virtue in you?
Where does confusion and hate and anger and bitterness come from? It comes from negative.
Yeah.
So when we got these things in our household, know that it's not of the Most High. It automatically is Satan trying to cause these things. Right. Go ahead.
Read it again. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for the delicateness and tenderness.
Stop. That's the reward of being virtuous. You become tender and delicate. You become that same creature you was in Deuteronomy before her eye was evil. You become that woman that now she's so important. She ain't more important than the Most High in the work, but she's third. She's right there. Why? No, I'm not going to put my woman in that situation. No, I'm not going to put her on a poom poom skirt and put her out there so we can pay the rent. That's not right. And then for you to beat down women on YouTube, calling them B's and H's, and dealing with them like they just as unlearned as you. You just got lucky. You got lucky, so now you want to tear down the same women that you asking for help with. Or when you get lonely, you want to lay next to. You want to sit here and beat and tear down the same thing that is a resource to the nations.
You know what? Brothers, we have to stop acting like there's not righteous sisters out there. There's righteous sisters, man. There's righteous Israelite women. The Most High made righteous souls in these women also. We just gotta get them, and we have to be patient. What they tell you about a diamond? Before it's a diamond, it's a what?
It's a coal.
It's a coal. That's how we are, man. That's how the righteous is. Remember, he said he chose the base things of the world. So we're all base. So, but we have to. I think if we change our outlook, like you said, you a hoe, you a B, you know what I mean? You ain't nothing, you trash, you're gonna betray me like the next one. If you let those spirits overcome you, then you're gonna look at every woman like that.
Right?
You're gonna be that bitter, angry girl, being a man. You're gonna be that bitter, angry girl that hates every woman. And then you're gonna treat them like that.
Oh, I like how you said about that diamond in the rough. Because think about it. How you gonna get through to a woman that's been raped by a man? How you gonna get through to a woman that done gave her
Through work?
Right.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, she been, listen.
I'm your hype man now.
Through work, through work, right?
Through work?
Listen.
You're gonna have to teach her.
How you gonna get through to a woman that she gave herself multiple times and was torn down to where she has nothing else to give?
Patience.
You see what
You're
I'm
gonna
saying?
have to be patient as hell. You know what I mean? Because it be the ones that you want. You're like, oh, she dope. She needs patience, long suffering, kindness, or else you're just gonna be another dude on her list. He hit it and quit it.
But you gonna blame her? Yeah, gee,
She was wicked.
She off.
She wicked, She's wicked as hell. I've done it. I've done it in my youth, in my ignorance, and my lack of understanding. I've done it. And all I needed, and I told you all this before, all I needed was a little more patience. All I could have done was a little more teaching, a little more giving. You know what I mean? And that's if I would have did that, maybe I would have had those women around. You know? That's how you have to look at it. And listen, it's for Christ. It's for Christ. We had to have mercy. Because how do we come in? You know, why do y'all think I say that? That the woman's not our footstool? Because, man, a lot of brothers think that, you know what I mean? And a lot of women think that in Israel. They think just because it says you're my possession, that means that I kick you to the curb. You know, we went over it. The scripture says your woman is like your flesh. She's like your flesh. She's your own flesh, and you won't do that to your flesh. So they misinterpret in their head these scriptures when it says that the head of every woman is the man. Because America put in their mind, head, Lord, like, nigga, you ain't my Lord. Like, that's the first reaction because America told them that order, love, unity, you know what I mean? It can't be none of that. you see that? So that's where that tension comes in. But when they start to find out the beauty of themselves and the beauty in serving Christ, the beauty in what the kingdom's going to be, we're going to have love. We ain't going to have to fight no more in the kingdom. You think Adam was arguing with Eve? No. Hell no, not until after she gave in to Satan. He gave in to Satan. That's the only time they started arguing back and forth. You understand? And remember, they were still the first man and woman. Right? So you still have to see that how they still, it wasn't nowhere on the level of this. What we got now, the discord, the chaos, the division. Right?
You know what's cold, man? I saw this movie. I took it real spiritual because it meant something. There was this man and his wife and kids, and they didn't have a lot of food. And the wife prepared a supper to where her husband got full, but the kids hadn't eaten. And the kids sat back and was watching. They never cried, never did nothing. And the mother fed the husband, and then she took the kids by the fire and waited. And the husband came back with food that was bigger than what he ate. The point of that is that sometimes if you know the natural order of things, your job is to provide the energy necessary so he can go out and do his job. And that's what I took from it because she had some slop and some bread and something, and he got full, but he came back with an elk. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the energy to catch it. He had the energy to kill it. He had the energy to bring it home. You see what I'm saying? The natural order of things. That's what's important. That's what the Most High blesses, the natural order of things. But when you want to go out of character, nigga, it's only enough in here for me and my kids. Then you know what you get? Enough for you and your kids. And then next month you scraping and scribing for the same thing when all you had to do is do things decently and in order. That's why the natural order of things is God, Christ, man, woman, and child.
You know, just on that point, righteousness blesses also.
Yep.
You understand that? We tend to think panicking, you know what I mean, like the lack of faith, not understanding, just from the story you're talking about, is like, how else is it going to happen? Well, righteousness benefits also. If you put your trust in the Most High, it benefits.
Right. Yep.
You know, but you got more on that?
Oh, yeah. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 14.
Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of God.
See, that comes from the Most High. Yeah. It says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. Read.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
When her spirit is geared towards the Most High, man, you can't even compare it. Read.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. And her continent mind cannot be battered.
You see that? When she's loyal, ain't got to worry about if the mailman touching me while you at work. And her mind's well instructed. You don't got to go through 50 scriptures to get her back on track, because all you need to do is communicate with her, and the spirit will work itself out because she's well instructed. Her mind, the thing she gives her spirit to, is clean. Read.
Verse 16. As the sun when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife and the ordering of her house.
See, when that house got that spirit of the Lord in it, you know how you wake up and you don't want to get up? When you got a good woman, you can't wait to get up. Ooh, they in there cooking. Kids is good. You know how the kids ate, they sit down. She in there washing the dishes, doing whatever. You come in, the kids jump up. Hey, Dad! Why? Because she's been instructing her house the whole time you've been asleep. And all you come to do is critique the things that are necessary to take the burden off of her. That's why children fear the father. They listen to mom, but they fear father because we're under that authority. That's why you can't listen. They can't fear nothing you ain't. If you ain't a man, they ain't gonna fear you. So it starts with you being a man. You ain't a man just because you 30. You got swagers. Because your credit good. I got a PhD. So what? You still stuck in puberty. Everything you give yourself to is childish. But you want to get your woman right. You want to put her, you want to punish her, take things from her, and put her in a bad situation, but you ain't never taught her. That's a hypocrite. Most High gonna deal with you. Read.
Verse 17. As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so is the beauty of the face in ripe age.
And when a woman's fully developed in the spirit, it's beautiful. When she's really starting to understand this doctrine and what's necessary in her, when she becomes of that right age, that maturity, when she knows that sacrifice is the most important thing in our relationship, because the Most High bless those that give. So y'all women, as y'all go through these scriptures, y'all got to really take into consideration that your whole purpose is to be a merchant ship, is to give to those that are around you, not expecting anything in return, because the Most High is the one that's going to give it to you. Proverbs 5:19.
Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 19. Let her be as the loving hand.
Loving hind.
Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times.
See, when you're in the right spirit, be satisfied through you. What you think, oh, I'm getting fat, that just means you got to work out. Your beauty is in your humility, man. It's in your virtue. I'll come lay down with a fat, virtuous woman any day before a dime demon.
That's true, though.
Straight dime demon.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? D and Clay, straight D and D.
See, but it's a double hurt when when you out of shape and your spirit's out of shape. It's like, damn, I gotta put up with both. Like, you could at least give me the virtue, right? The point being made is that the virtue overrides all, whether fat, skinny, slim, tall, it don't matter. The virtue overrides all that.
I know a lot of brothers with beautiful women that's in pain. Niggas dread going home. They want to be anywhere but at the crib. Like you see them all over the mall, all in the bars, and they show you a picture of a girl called, and you see the picture on their phone. Like, damn, she hot. Yeah, but she a demon. You know what I'm saying? She a demon. Then you get a woman that is working on virtue, but the world teaching her that if you ain't a size 3, you garbage. No, that's not true. You need to work on being a size 3, but at the same time, I'm attracted to your virtue. That's what attracted us. I didn't have to look for you. The Most High brought you straight to me while I was doing the work. That's how you know it came from the Lord, because you didn't have to go out and look for it. When you yourself have virtuous attributes, the Most High gives you virtue. What is virtue? Your woman. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 2.
Yeah.
If y'all got any questions out there, man, feel free. You know, before we end class, definitely, I just want you to get this real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse.
Yeah, now's the time if y'all have any questions. We got a few more minutes. We're going to end class soon. Off the subject? Okay, let me get a scripture and then we'll answer that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 2. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
This is what strengthens your virtue. You got to make not haste, man. You're performing for the Most High for your talent. Read.
Cleave unto him, and depart not away.
You got to stay in this word. You can't let grandma, big mama, your auntie, your cousin, your sister influence your path. Read.
Verse 3. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
See, our increasing, it comes through. You women, your increasing comes in when the Most High see fit. Not when you see fit. You got to fight for righteousness to the end. Read.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take carefully. Cheerfully.
Read again.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
You guys got to get that woe is me spirit off you. That just because the Most High is testing you, you feel like it's the end of the world for you. You got to take it cheerfully. You got to be happy when you get chosen to go through the furnace of adversity. You should have your hand raised for that. You know, you quick to stand in line for some free assistance. Stand in line for some hardship. Why don't you stand in line to be ridiculed? For righteousness, though. So the Most High can bless you and pull you out of the cheese line. Or you're just content with getting the leftovers and handouts that the white man keep giving you because y'all stuck. Your minds are stuck in this hamster wheel of division, dividing the husband from his children. Y'all killing the whole generation. Now we got what's called savages. We got savages in the street.
Monsters.
Boys without fathers. Emotional bags of muscle. And then that's like a pit bull without an owner. Then you wonder when they're killing each other without nothing. They're dealing off emotions.
Right.
They're dealing off emotions because you chose food stamps and Lincoln and all these other things to edify your household instead of the Spirit of the Most High and the Father. But then it's not their fault because when they go out there, they ain't seeing men. They seeing boys. You're a 40-year-old rapper. You using your girl's check to buy rims for your car. Your new album coming, nigga. You've been given the same album. I done sat in the mall and watched some men sell the same album for 8 years.
The same bag.
Out of the same bag, but they got a new watch on.
Right.
But I see your baby mama cut through here with your kid and his shoes tore up. Your priorities is off. That's why women don't respect men. Because you're not men. A man is committed according to wisdom.
That's right.
If you ain't got no wisdom, I wouldn't respect you.
Right.
Even in the streets, niggas don't respect niggas that make bad decisions. Women ain't supposed to respect a man that ain't a man. Your man, your wisdom is what makes you a man. So the next time the homie pull up and tell you, you gotta, you know what's sad? I watch men that don't have a family pull up with a man that has a family and ask this nigga to get in the car. We're finna go handle something. Don't you know I'm handling something right now? I'm doing what you afraid to do. I'm being responsible for my family. I'm feeding my kids. I'm feeding my wife. I'm praying to the Most High. That's a man. You got to see that. These boys, they want to put on the outfit of a man, and that's why our women are confused.
Right.
Because they're looking at this hairy, 270-pound, muscle-bound child.
Yeah.
And every type of responsible thing that pop up, you want to run from it. You want to hide. You want to try to camouflage it. You got to start explaining your issues to your woman. As a partner, you got to start explaining how you feel and letting her talk and giving her the opportunity to explain how she feels. And then having at least the common sense of being able to understand where she's coming from. It's not always about you, how you feel, what you think. It's not about putting them down if they don't want it to go your way. Maybe you need to look at it her way. Maybe her giving you her check so you can go buy stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the house is not important.
Like there's a sister that she'll watch her now. She's like teaching. That's a little disciple here and there. She don't come to class or nothing. Just somebody she met at work, and she gives her wisdom here and there. But she's trying to get her mind on the scriptures, virtue, trying to get her to being that virtuous woman. But she's like, but he takes all the money and buys video games. I mean, to be fair, he's what, 21 or something?
Yeah, they're both 22.
They're both 22, they're young, but this is what happens when a nigga's 30 or 40, he's still doing kid stuff. So it's hard, but we here at this camp always say this. We've been blessed with good women because the women see that we're not sitting at home on our ass. We're doing the work of the Most High. You understand? That's what they see. And that's how we try to show brothers, you want a good woman? Dedication. A woman wants to see a man dedicated to something. Yeah, rather than garbage or you not doing nothing. Right?
Think about a Fortune 500 woman and then you the street trash nigga. Right. You really think she gonna hand over her business to you?
No, sir.
She worked hard for that. You think she gonna let you come in her house with your garbage?
You gotta come in with wisdom, man. You gotta come in with wisdom. You gotta come in with knowledge.
You got 6 pair of Jordans, couple outfits, and a PlayStation.
The only way she's gonna get that power over you, man, if you got wisdom and knowledge great enough to captivate her mind. But anyway, we're going into another class now.
Yeah.
What was the question? What was the question? We had a question on there? What is it?
Ecclesiasticus 26 and 28.
Ecclesiastes 26 and 28.
What?
And while we're finna answer this question in class, brothers and sisters, everybody that helps us out, we thank y'all. Anybody that wants to continue helping us, books, pencils, pens, computers, anything you want to give, alms, whatever, we would appreciate it. We're at 8425 South Braeswood. We thank y'all, brothers and sisters, that constantly watch us and give positivity. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that watch us that y'all are just positive. It ain't no negative and stupidity. Right. We thank you for that because we don't need the drama. But where are we at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 28.
Go ahead.
There be 2 things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty.
Yeah, when you look at America, you get these ex-veterans, they out there. That disgustes me too. Yeah. How the hell are you going to fight, die for this country, come back with nubs, but then you ain't set up? You know what I mean? Right. They have even now started paying all our Judite brothers, all our brothers that's been convicted wrong, they started paying them recently for being in jail for 20 years, half of their life. They just started giving them reparations. How the hell you not gonna do that for your own people that go there and die for you? Why the hell they coming back broke? Why they coming back and have to fight for opportunity? They gave up the opportunity. Most High hates that.
The person that sent you over gets a pension, but the
But
person
you
that fought don't.
That Most High said. That's why America has to fall. And this is what the white men themselves, they're finding out. Wow, we're being bamboozled. But you reap what you sow, right? Yeah.
Well, even with the time we spend learning job, when you come out in the world, it's not counted as anything.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
We don't have a degree. We're idiots. Like,
We went to the movies the other day. I was like, "Can we get that veteran discount?" I was like, but she didn't have her ID. I was like, so that's how y'all do us, huh? That's how you do your veterans that fight for this country. You know what I mean? Just threw it in her face like, listen, you want to promote and run around, I love America. But really, do they give a damn about America, man? No. America's about themselves. Most High said he hates that. When we came back from war, we got reparations, man. We read it the other day in Chronicles. It says we had,
Oh, the gold that they counted for 3 days.
Yeah, the gold they counted for 3 days is what we got from battle or war.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes, the king was probably getting a lot of it, but he didn't leave his men out there.
Oh, when Abraham overthrew the kingdoms, he gave that all to his servant.
There you go. See, the Most High said he hates that. Go ahead.
And men of understanding that are not set by.
And a man that you got the understanding, but you get all this wisdom, get all this knowledge, get all these books. You've been in the truth 10 years, and next thing you know, you go right back into the world. The understanding doesn't help you no more. It's like, brother, you forget everything? The Most High hates that type of individual. Sisters too. You get all this knowledge, all this wisdom, and all this understanding, but you're not set by it. You're easily persuaded to do negative and weakness and sin. The Most High hates that. Go ahead.
And one that returneth from righteousness to sin.
There you go. The Most High hates that. Go ahead.
The Lord prepared such in one for the sword.
Right. So is that it? That's the only verse?
Kind
Okay, so yeah, the Most High prepared them for the sword. So hopefully I answered that question for you.
The question was just, what are the first two things he's referring to?
The first, okay, so you got that now. Okay. All right, so with that, everybody, let's get ready to salute them online. Thank y'all for tuning in. Next class will be Shabbat, Friday night, 9 o'clock. With that, everybody say shalom.
Shalom.
Imagine, we'll find you half a